everybody. John Granato, Lance Zierlein from the bench. Mornings on ESPN 97.5. Please hit subscribe right now so that you get all our content right here on SportsMap HOU. Ian Rappaport was on the Rich Eisen show this week. Eisen tried to pressure Rappaport to admit that the Mills pick was a clear sign that Deshaun Watson would be traded. Rappaport pushed back and said several league officials felt this was a weak draft, Lance, and that maybe Nick Caserio didn't feel like there was a player worth taking a chance on, that maybe at a skill position didn't have a better chance of making the team than Davis Mills did. It may possibly a backup quarterback had a better chance of making this team. Agree or disagree about this being a weak draft?
Okay, so what we would have to assume here, based on what you're telling me that Rich Eisen said, or that Ian Rappaport said to Rich Eisen, is that Deshaun will still be a Texan, that this is simply a backup quarterback that's in place, and that it was more important to have a backup who could make a team than all of these scrubs that are outside of anybody outside of pick 65, 66, they stink. They won't even make the team. How can they even make a team? I mean, they're so bad. This draft's so historically bad that third rounders can't even make a team. So you just go try to find a backup quarterback and that's it. Yeah, no, that's not it. That's not it at all. In fact, I talked to NFL people who said this is one of the deepest drafts in the middle rounds that they've seen in years. The rounds 2 through 4 is where the value of this draft was, which is why I'm so disappointed. I wrote up 475 players, gave them draft grades, and I can tell you there are certain positions that were really deep in rounds 2 through 4. That's preposterous. This is just more of the Texans floating out to Ian or whoever what the narrative they need to hear, which is, I don't know, there's not a lot of great players. Maybe they didn't have it graded as such, but go find me a backup quarterback that you think is going to, be more valuable than a third cornerback or a fourth cornerback. They're not. Fourth cornerbacks play on special teams a lot of times. That's value. Do backup quarterbacks not named Taysom Hill play on special teams? No, they don't. So that doesn't make sense to me. You either believe that you maybe, just be honest and say, we think that Davis Mills has an outside shot to become a starter, which would save us a lot of money in the future. But don't tell us, well, Deshaun's coming back. Come on. You can hang on to that all you want for leverage of the draft picks, but don't act like that's a real thing. This is not a real thing. This is fake. This is not a real thing that Deshaun Watson's going to be a future Houston Texan. It's not going to happen.
I'll tell you this. If Mills doesn't play this year, if they decide, hey, Tyrod Taylor's doing just fine, we're not going to play Mills, well, then they do. Then they don't think that they're not grooming him. They got to be grooming him to be a starter in the future. I mean, why in the hell would you draft a quarterback right now and not play him? Well, suppose they do get rid of Deshaun Watson. Suppose they do trade him and they don't play Davis Mills. What the hell kind of pick was that?
Well, suppose they don't trade Deshaun. Okay, take Ian Rappaport's comments that he got from a GM or whatever that the Texans told him at face value. It's not for sure that Deshaun Watson will be gone. He may still be a Texan. And Davis Mills has more value as a backup quarterback than anybody else at any other position of need. More than Alim McNeil, the defensive tackle from North Carolina State. More than Bobby Brown from Texas A&M. More than Milton Williams. More than Aaron Robinson, the cornerback, Paulson Adebo, any of the Ifeatu Melifonwu, 6'1" cornerback, more than any of these guys, a backup quarterback's more value than any of these guys. Let's take that at face value. Do you honestly believe that the Texans are going to hang on to Deshaun Watson because he is the quarterback of the future? And let's say he's not, and they draft one next year. You still got a backup quarterback in the early third. This would be a concern to me. Does Nick Caserio really believe that a backup quarterback, if that's how he views Davis Mills, has more value than any of the positions or players that I told you? I would be very, very concerned, and I am currently very concerned about the state of team building if that's the philosophy going in, that a backup quarterback is more valuable than players or positions that we just talked about.
Yeah. I got to believe they think that Davis Mills is their starting quarterback of the future. Otherwise, there is really no reason to have taken him.